this shit out.
Are you ready for episode 2 of The Pink Buzz? Get down with the Pink Buzz boys and the Pink Mob and get ready to rumble for another action-packed episode.
Pink Buzz.
All right, party people in the place to be, vandals and whatever's lurking out in the darkness. I'm Turd Fergus, your wonderful host tonight, and joining me this wonderful evening, I have a great panel, and just going around, we're going to let you guys introduce yourself, starting with our digital comic expert. Dive on in, man. Say hi.
What's up, everybody? How you guys doing tonight? I've got, thank you, crickets.
Not bad, man. Not bad.
Yeah.
I'm a little distracted tonight, so
yeah, I know.
For at least 7 more minutes.
I hope your team fucking loses.
Yeah. Hey, batter, swing, batter. Yeah. I didn't even know Quebec had a baseball team.
Used to. The Expos, man.
Aren't they in Texas now? Goose stole them from you.
In Washington.
Oh. But Matthew, are you ready?
Yeah, I've been ready.
Or should we buy you some more time? Okay. Dive on in, kiddo.
All right, man. This week, of course, I read the books that we'll discuss in more length later on in the episode, but I've been digging into Ninjas and Robots, which is fucking basically, the title says all you need to know for the most part.
What is that about?
Jesus Christ, Johnny. Got some True Cult goodness, which is Kickstarter action. And, of course, I got to show the man Brian Level some love. Chained to the Grave. This book is like nothing else on the shelves, is the best way I can say it, man. This book is so much fun. We will be fucking talking about that one at length.
Soon to be covered, yes. Definitely.
And also some more Behemoth fucking awesome action, some Vietnam horror. It's been great.
Nice. Goose! Jump on it, man. Tell us what you've been reading this week.
Hey everybody, how are y'all doing? I have been reading a bunch, actually. A lot of the Communist Manifesto. And wait, wrong podcast. Sorry. This is. I've been reading. Wrong way. Berserk. I read the first volume of the deluxe edition, which covers about 640 pages, and it has been brutal and bloody, fantastic. I absolutely love it. Also, I dove into some digital comics that Matt suggested for me. He sent me a whole thing of digital comics. They're great.
Fuck you, Goose.
Not tonight, sweetheart. I'm busy. So anyways, I was reading the Marvel, what they've been doing with Star Wars, because I've been hearing a lot about this Dr. Aphra series. And so I dove into Dr. Aphra as well as the accompanying Darth Vader storyline that preceded it. And really, really, really big fan of that. I dove into...
That's unfortunate.
Thanks.
No, he's
thanks,
right, dude. Dr. Aphra is pretty good. As far as a Star Wars go nowadays, you don't get better than Dr. Aphra.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. Like I only read the Darth Vader one because there was references in the Doctor. Is it Aphra or Aphra? We'll say Aphra because that's the way you said it. In the first volume of Dr. Aphra, there was stuff that was mentioned from the first Darth Vader volume, so I went back and read that. And then I read the first 4 volumes of Invincible, some Old Man Logan, all kinds of stuff. It's great.
Nice. Joey, what'd you read, brother?
You better not say fucking Star Wars.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm not on mute. I read Nottingham number 3. I read Black Friday number 2. Some Shadow Man action. I read the second issue of Shadow Man.
How's that going,
third-
man? How's Bun doing on that?
Shadow Man?
Yeah.
It was the first one was a little weird and bizarre how they reintroduced the character. So it was a little uneven, but this one, the introduction to this second issue is really good. Like classic kind of horror twist, kind of breaks you into the story. And the second issue was a lot stronger. It was a lot better.
Has Punk Mambo showed up at all?
No, not yet. I don't know if she will, but if anyone was a little disappointed with the first issue, then the second issue should put their worries at ease.
I wouldn't expect guest stars until second arc at least, dude, to tell you the truth. So,
and it's, if you're a fan of Cullen Bunn, then he writes it. So I think it's David Hunt, John Davis Hunt. Sorry, that's the artist, and he's pretty solid.
Nice.
I like his stuff, so he does a good job on it, man. He's got a nice style, and
he did art for Clean Room at Vertigo. Anybody that like Clean Room,
exactly.
Yeah,
Gail Simone, love.
Yeah. So if you like that artist, man, he's on it as well with Colin Bunn. So you got 2 really solid creators working on that one. So, I mean, horrible, right? So it's going to be solid regardless. And last, and I probably the one I regret buying the most is the Baby Yoda Cerebus, which is barely a comic, really, to tell you the truth. That like every page is this layout, the exact same picture, and he just changes the writing and makes jokes the whole way through for 22 pages.
That's what you get for buying a fucking book with Baby Yoda on it.
Yeah, that is what you call a cash grab. Like,
yeah, I thought
did
it was
David
going to
Sims do it. Is it like an actual from this Cerberus comic, or?
I have no. It's got the character. I assumed it was him. I just saw it in the. Where's the writer? I don't even think they credit anyone.
Baby Yoda wrote it.
Yeah, look, it starts off and there's no credits, nothing. Maybe at the end there's a credit. Let's see.
No designer? There's no designer on the book. Are you kidding me?
I don't know. Look, I'm trying to, unless it's written super small because they realized it wasn't very good. So they're like, fuck, don't put my name on that shit.
Yeah.
Parody cover from an idea by Dave Sim.
Yeah, okay. So he is involved. That's cool, man.
No, it's not.
Sheldon Mayer is the one who did it, I guess. And it was very
garbage.
I'd tell people to pass on it.
Yeah,
so I thought it was going to be like a spoof making fun of like the Mandalorian series, and it wasn't even that. He's just basically, it's just a bunch of jokes that disguised in a Baby Yoda outfit, anyway. And the jokes weren't really great. They were kind of more of a commentary on everything that's been going on for the past year and a half with all the protests and COVID and masks and the woke community. Like, it was very, very average.
That's too bad because you'd expect a certain type of quality with a name like that. But as for me, I got some more Kickstarters and I got some really, really neat stuff though. I got Craig Patton's art book Hardcode, which was beautiful. Some really nice pieces in there. I really, really like his Ghost in the Shell bit. I got the 3rd book of Killtopia, which I can't wait for you guys to read so we can throw Dave Cook some love, man. Really talk about that amazing cyberpunk battle royale masterpiece. But what is I just got to talk about, I got to sing praises for. It's the best book of 2021 so far in my book is Maworth Valise by Effect, EPHK. He's a German artist. And he did this really, really, Joey, you are lucky enough to get to read this too, right? The silent comic book about the girl on the face of Russia, not Russia, but Mars, chasing the other alien, and just how beautiful
they crash on the planet. Yeah.
How weird of a just take on the idea of war it is, and just beautiful surrealism with just this great graffiti art style. I mean, like we were talking about Stoko the other week, and Effect, he is definitely on that level. He could be the next Stoko if he keeps doing this. Image is going to be putting this book out very soon. They're going to be doing a full run for this. So when they do, I would highly recommend everybody check it out. It is such an excellent, just extremely well put together book, and it'll probably be beautiful, no matter which version you buy. The one that I got here is pretty. It's like a nice little digest size. I bet you the Image one's going to be a full size trade. So yeah, everybody who is interested in good sci-fi, definitely check out Maworth Valis.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
The book's
I'm
written
stoked
in
to get it.
Martian language, so like you're not supposed to really be able to read or understand it. So I don't know if the title's that way too, or if I'm just an idiot that doesn't know German words. But either one could be possible. Let's have fun and just say that it is a Martian word, though, for now. And
What's up, Nalo?
oh, is Nalito in the chat? All right,
man.
In the chat, yo.
right on, right on. Okay, cool beans. So you guys check out anything else this week you guys want to holler out? Or Joe, how's your game going? Is that about you
Oh,
gonna
no,
be
it's
celebrating
tied
for
2-2
the...
with a minute and a half left.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
Like who's up to bet next? Like
Fucking Matt's fault.
it's Matt's fault. I'd blame Goose. Goose is bad news for like the Bears or whatever.
Just bad news.
Well, what's the team is it the Bears that's playing up there? Is it the Quebec Bears?
It's Montreal Canadiens, man.
Montreal Canadiens. Okay.
Yeah. And
you
I
don't
also
get more
read
Canadian than that.
Yeah, I also read Osaka Mime. I forgot to mention on my.
Nice. You want to chime in on that a little bit? Talk about.
I know you had some issues with the lettering, if I remember correctly.
It was small. It was written small, and a lot of the dialogue bubbles end up in the gutter of the page. So in the first part, I mean, the first half of the book, it was an issue, or the first quarter, and I don't know if through the process of doing the book they realized it, because later on it doesn't seem to be an issue anymore, the gutter, but the writing is still pretty small.
Yeah.
So, get ready to like maybe my eyes are going, I don't know, but usually I don't have too many issues reading books, but this writing was pretty goddamn small. But those are just minor little gripes. The rest of the book was pretty good. People got to know it's black and white, which is an issue for some people, not for me. And the art was beautiful in it, and yeah, it was pretty good.
There are people that complain about black and white comics. Are you serious?
Yeah. I've heard people say, "Oh, I have a hard time reading black and white comics if it isn't in color."
What? Like that's indie comics. When I was a kid, you were lucky if the indie comic you bought was in color. Yeah. You had to maybe it was a Dark Horse book if you got lucky. But if you're reading like something from Caliber or Comico or Fantagraphics, yeah, dude, good luck getting that in color. And good luck, and have fun missing out on all the really good comic books from the 90s too. Like if you're not going to read black and white books, I don't understand that logic at all.
Yeah, it was good though. It kind of, hey, Chad Johnson's in the house. I don't know if he's going to be coming back on the show.
Yeah, right. I see you in the chat, Goose. Are you gonna join the panel?
All right.
You must have been having some technical difficulties.
Yeah, I think it's more of an operator error basis, but
But Osaka Mime, it surprised me because I didn't think it was going to be the book it was, because it's more of a police procedural, like chasing a serial killer type deal, but with monsters. So it's not a straight up horror book. It's very much like two detectives. It's got that very, very heavy like police angle, police drama side to it. So anyone buying it thinking it's a pure horror type thing, it's not. So it's got a good balance though. You got the balance of both, which made it pretty interesting for that type of book.
Right on. I heard that he was really trying to adhere to like a manga style with it, and it sounds like he was able to do that at least with the small print and like some of it getting stuck in the gutter, because like that's one of the problems I have when I get with those little manga books is like sometimes it's hard to read some of the pages. But also with that whole thing, that's another thing that they do with their horror over there. Like if you read stuff like Ajin, there's several of like the horror things that are very procedural. Like one of my
procedural,
favorites is like Psychopaths, which is kind of more of a cyberpunky type thing. But yeah, they got these really, really cool crime noir dramas set with these like really horrific, murderous things popping off in their books. So yeah, that's kind of a really neat thing that he's kind of bringing over from manga too as well. I haven't read it yet, but I'm guessing that that might be one of the things that he's brought over, which that's cool. American comics need a little shaking up every now and then.
No doubt.
You have 10 minutes starting now, Goose, and if you're late, we're going to cook your eggs, Goose. We're going to cook all your goose eggs. But yeah.
Yep.
You guys ready to get into some books, though, huh?
Fuck yeah, man. I'm excited.
We're talking some action comics now, and we're going to be talking about 3 books in particular that are probably better than any action film you could go see in the theater, if there were theaters. But like even these are better than most of the ones that you could probably stream. We're going to be starting out. Well, we're going to be talking about Hotline Miami Wildlife from Behemoth. We're going to be talking about American Ronin from AWA Upshot, and we're also going to be talking about Death or Glory from Image. But starting out, of course, with Hotline Miami from Behemoth. It is written by one Mr. Federico Tramello and Marcinio Farini, with art by Alberto Massaggia and Ludovica Curgaretti, and it's designed by Alberto Massaggia. And I am just so thrilled that somebody put this book out, because I got really lucky, and like one of my ex-girlfriend's little brothers I used to trade comics with, and I was over at her house, I was about to leave, and we were trading off some stuff off, and he just put it on my drive, and I'd never heard of the video game. I'd never heard of anything.
What up, Mel?
Hello, Melanie. How you doing, girl? So I start looking at this thing, and I'm like, oh, dude, a rabbit mask. I got to read this, because I don't know why I love weird shit about people in animal masks. I even watched that crappy Adam Wingard movie, You're Next, because there was a bunny mask in it.
Hey, so I enjoyed that fucking movie. You take that back.
Maybe after the show. But so I start looking at this, and I like the 80s coloring and everything, but I start reading it, and it just grabs me right away, dude. Like, I just love the idea that it is an imagined version of the 80s, where the Cold War got so heated that the Russians nuke San Francisco, and it's to the point where like there's these disillusioned, disenfranchised kids that just get calls to be patriots, and they get sent these boxes with Uzis and masks, and they just go take out these cells of the Russian mob. And you get that for the beginning, but then you meet the second main character, who's actually a Russian who likes to kill other Russians, who wears the bird mask. And the book just gets so much darker and more bizarre and just uglier when he joins. And oh man, like, what would you say, Joey? Would you say that calling it a mix between American Psycho and Boondock Saints is a fair way to describe Hotline Miami Wildlife? I mean, I think that's pretty apt, right?
Yeah, I'd say any ultra-violent, you can compare it to anything that's ultra-violent, you know? Like, it's off the wall, it's got some action. Anyone who's played the video game, they do a great job of mirroring and staying true to the game itself, which is rare for comics that do game adaptations. It was really good. Like, I loved it. The art style is great. Like I said, the action is great, and it gets pretty gruesome and graphic with the kills, and So I mean, anyone who likes some ultra violent action, man, this is definitely a book you should go pick up. It's really, really fun read. The issue I enjoyed the most was issue 5, the one with the veteran with the arm cut off. That issue. And that's the one issue where they switch the artists up, too. All the rest is all the same guy. In that one issue, they switch it up for his backstory. And that issue was great. Like, the mask, the lion face mask, the action scenes were great. Like, the movement in it. Like, I love that issue. That was my my favorite issue of that 8-issue run.
Well, I like that you brought up the video game angle because most people know, like, comic books based off of video games are usually terrible. I had no idea that there was a video game to this when I read it. When I found out, I was just like, wow. Like, I wonder if the video game...
Yeah, there's
Either
two
that-
video games. Yeah. And it's the same. It's action-packed, fast-paced. That game is you can't fuck around or else you die. So
yeah, you
the
die
comic-
a lot.
yeah, you die a lot. And it's true. This book is true to the game. Like, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Like, and the only other comic adaptation I've read that I really enjoyed was maybe Bloodborne. That one wasn't bad either. I enjoyed that one. So they're getting better. And I guess I haven't read Witcher, but I guess Witcher is a really good comic adaptation of the game. So I think they're getting better. They're getting better creative teams on these books, and I think they're starting to step it up because that's a huge market. The video game market is huge. So if you can get comics that are properly adapted to these games, you can go get a whole bunch more fans to come in and buy these books. And, it's an untapped and it's an obvious market that you want to go get, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Because a lot of games are like comic books come to life now with how good the graphics are and stuff. It's like you're playing a comic book now on your screen, like look at how popular Spider-Man was. That game did Spider-Man great. There's the Batman game that's amazing. If they can make great games based on comics, why couldn't they make great comics based on games? And I think they're starting to come around and they're starting to get it done.
Well put, Joey.
Nice. You got any thoughts you want to dig into with Hotline Miami, Matt?
I mean, basically all my fucking notes was like pretty aligned with what Joey just said. I like how it adapted to the game, like Joey said, way better than most video game adaptations. It's like I have a few of like I have the old Silent Hill comics that were pretty awful, and like some Resident Evil ones that were okay, but not that great either. But like I think it's probably the most well adapted video game book I've ever read for sure. And I like how it jumped around between the different characters and stuff. And then it all ties in. But like that was very adhered to the game, which was really fucking cool. That fucking page towards the end where they drive through the drive-in screen, that shit was fucking awesome, dude. I would like put that up on my wall, dude. It was I really dug that page like a whole lot. I was kind of bummed that it ended the way it did. It just felt like there was a little bit more they could have added on, and I don't know. I'm not really a big fan of the everything kind of worked out in the end.
I don't,
like especially for this kind of a book. Like, come on, man.
I don't mind it because it's such a contrast to the book that I kind of liked it. I was like, all right, fair enough. I dig it,
And it lended to the 80s movie vibe that the book started with. It lost it that type of vibe in the middle and everything, but it's kind of neat that it kind of went back to it because like you start off and it's just like kind of like your normal disenfranchised like guy that like I don't know Patrick Dempsey would have played in the movie like around like 1988 and all this stuff happens. San Francisco gets bombed and next thing you know he's in a bunny mask and a little kid's pointing a gun at his head and he's just like, you know what, I'm just gonna leave though, and here, you want a cigarette? No, you can't smoke, and like leaves. I love that scene with the kid. And then you meet the Russian guy, and it just gets so berserk. But then the book ends like a Patrick Dempsey movie would. So I thought that was kind of neat that they returned to that after the journey we went through, which I thought was kind of interesting way to end it.
Yeah,
all things considered.
I just feel like there's definitely room for more. But
it's crazy because it's an 8-issue series, and you're saying there was like.
Yeah.
Like, you felt it was too short, and it was 8 issues. So that's a pretty long run for like a limited series or a mini series. It's like
I mean,
in between a mini and a maxi, right? Because usually a maxi
Yeah.
is 12, a mini
Right.
is 6. So they kind of hit that sweet spot. But like you said, like I could have gone for more too, for
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, it just felt like the story like needed a little bit more for me. I mean that the corporation, what is it? 50 what's it called? Shit. Whatever the the corporation that, that's calling these random people on the phone and taking their donations and shit. Like they seem to know everything. So just for it to end abrupt, like everything's okay, was kind of hokey to me. But
Yeah.
I just feel like they could have gone a little bit more, and like I don't know. That was my only gripe, but it's minor. It was super fun. I'm a big fan of violence in my comics, so it definitely delivers on that front.
Yeah. Yeah, like
You
you
know-
said, those later issues with the action, like the car
Yeah.
chase is
Yeah, man.
pretty good. It's worth it for those few issues. Yeah.
The one thing I can balk at though is the version that got put out. The coloring is way different than the original digital versions that were released on the game website that I got from my girlfriend's little brother. And I like the '80s colors that were in the original version slightly better, but it's just a little balk. That's the only thing I would complain about. I thought that I hate endings. I always think that there should be more, and like nothing should ever truly end and stuff. So like I've had to move on, so I don't really get tied up with that. But yeah, my big problem with the book would have to be like the changing of coloring between the printed edition and the old digital version.
Yeah, I remember seeing like one of your old videos with this on it, and I had to double check and ask you if this was the same book because it looked different. But yeah, man, I remember when I first saw that video, I was like, man, I gotta fucking read this. It looks fucking amazing. And then it was, some digital only bullshit. So I did not read it. So I was super happy when Behemoth picked it up and distributed it. Hey, what's up? Oh man, I don't want to butcher your name, and I sound like an asshole just for saying that. But hey, good evening from America. Istanbul, man. Come on, we're fucking making
good
shit now.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah.
But I didn't look into it to see if they're planning on doing another arc, because they could easily do another arc, like you said. The way it's set up with the corporation that just picks these random disenfranchised people, like you could do a million different stories with this.
Oh, yeah.
Like it doesn't have to be with the same characters, or it's so easy to pick it back up. But I didn't really look into it, dig at all to see if they were planning on doing another arc based on this this franchise. But let's hope they do, because the first one was great.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, their other commercial property that they came out with right away, I heard they're already going to be working on some other stuff. That's the Girl Walks Home Alone at Night series, which is one of my favorite films of all time. And I love the 2-issue little trade we got from Behemoth for that. And so anything they can do with Sexy Persian Vampire Lady in the future, I'm definitely down for. So, but if they're going to be doing that, then I don't see why not. But I would hope they get the same Italian fellas that did this one, because I think that that's what really made this book good, is they got European talent to do it, unlike just getting some American yokels to try to poop something out.
Fucking Americans.
Yeah. Because them Italian comic book writers and artists, man, they don't goof around, dude. They're serious about their work, and like I rarely read anything from Europe that I'm just like, man, like who could put that out? You know what I mean? It just doesn't come out of my mouth when I read European stuff, and even weird shit like this, like Hotline Miami proves it. You know what I mean? They take a silly over the head video game with neon colors so seriously to make probably one of the best action films I've ever read. We're going to talk about two more of them in a little bit, but this is definitely one of them, like one of the best action films I've ever read.
Like if anyone's looking and they're not sure, they're looking for something different to pick up, if you see anything with Behemoth written on it, there's a good chance it's good. So if you see Behemoth written on it, take a chance, because they've been pretty solid. Their batting average is incredibly high. All their books have been really good and well received critically, and as well as by fans. So you know, you
And
can't go wrong.
they're really well priced. I mean, I remember first thing I saw, first time I ever heard of him, Matt was talking to me about him. It was found footage, and he's like, "Check out the special edition thing, man. It's like a VHS tape, and it's all this grooviness." And I was like looking at it, and I was looking at this thing, and I swore it had to be $60. But I go and look on the website, and it's the same exact price as the regular trade. It's $9.99 for the special edition VHS version of it, and it's so neat. You know what I mean? And like
Yeah,
all their
man.
stuff like that, like you could go on there, and all their trades are. I think their most expensive books like $15, and it's worth it because it's all printed, high quality. It's all on like this really nice plastic binding. I mean, really good looking books, really well put together stuff. And oh my God, what is up, Sequential Geek? So nice to have you in the house, man. This guy's one of my hardcorest, longest running fans, man. I love this dude. So happy to have you here, bro. Honestly, man, take it easy.
Hell
Cool,
yeah,
cool.
man. Graphic vandalism is the shit.
And another thing I loved about the Hotline Miami, every cover was cardstock.
Oh,
And
yeah. Well,
I'm a big cardstock cover fan, man.
most of Behemoth's books are, man. They've really got the production values like top notch, in my opinion. Like all the books I've got from them are fucking really well put together. And
Yeah.
I don't know
And
any other like indie company that's fucking putting books out like that, especially at their pricing.
Everything
Yeah,
they put out is so bizarre too. I mean, that's the best thing about it. Like they have a wide variety of stuff, but like it is all so weird. Yeah, it's insane. Like paranormal hitman. Yeah, that one's one that I've had my eye on. I'm just like, and they're also be putting out one of my favorite other European books that I did a video on that like I didn't think was ever going to get an actual official in print release in the US. MFKZ by Jump. That is officially getting released by Happy Tank, which is a Behemoth subsidiary. And oh my God, is that going to rule when it comes out? Because that book is just so unreal. It's like The Matrix meets Akira meets H.P. Lovecraft meets dude, anything cool you could put in a damn book, Jump put in MFKZ, man. Motherfuckers is the dog's balls, as the Brits would say.
Yeah,
the
man.
Bollocks, mate.
You've been hyping that book for years, so I'm super stoked to finally check it out.
Yeah, it's I think next month is the first issue finally comes out in June, right, Joey?
Should be, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Because I put my pre-order in a few previews ago, so yeah, it should be out sometime soon.
Everybody see if you can get it, man. They got like 80 covers for it, so it should be.
I only ordered one, but
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I only ordered the cover A.
I would have ordered the Garbage Pail Kids one, but that was I think a variant, like a store exclusive variant or something. It wasn't available in the first. It wasn't solicited in the previews. It was solicited afterwards. So I don't know if that's just something you can get through their site or it's an exclusive store variant. But they have another one for issue 2 or 3. I think they might have one for each issue that's coming out. They're gonna have like a Garbage Pail Kids style variant, which they're pretty fucking cool.
Hell yeah. Well, moving on along, like I said, we got 3 books. Next one up is American Ronin. Matthew, you're going to be taking the lead on that one.
Yeah, man. American Ronin is put out by AWA, Upshot Studios. Written by one of my favorite, probably most underrated writers, Peter Milligan. Art by ACO. The inks are by David Lorenzo, with colors by Dean White and lettering by Sal Cipriano. Man, I've been a Milligan fan since I think the first thing I ever read by him was a book called Skin.
Yeah.
Which is, man, that book's fucked up. But
yeah.
Anyways, I've loved his work since I've been into comics. He never gets the attention that he should. He should be up there with like the all-time like European invasion greats as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, this book is about a hitman who has suffered some trauma at the hands of a corporation that basically runs the world. And they gave him some abilities to where if he gets a hold of your DNA and injects himself with it, he can see inside of your mind and get all of your empathy and your feelings. And basically, it's his mission of revenge against this company. And man, there is some brutal death scenes in this book that are right up my alley. The war of feelings and emotions when he injects somebody's DNA inside of them, because it's like his mental self fights with the person whose DNA he injects inside of himself. It's like a constant battle at the same time as like in the real world he's fighting someone else. Like it's so well done. My favorite character is his nemesis throughout the book, and he's called the Nightmare Kid, and it's basically another hitman like our main character. And instead of getting your empathy, when he shoots your DNA, he can dive into your nightmares. And that's one of the most fucked up characters I think I've ever read in a comic, and I'd really love to see like an entire series just based on him. What do you guys got, man?
Yeah. I mean, I like you, man. Petey's been one of my influences for as long as pimpin's been pimpin', you know? Like I think I draw my line all the way back to Enigma, where he really kind of helped open my mind to certain things, certain ways of life with that book. Where but this is almost like what Ann Nocenti did with Seeds. This is a classic writer taking their classic style but reinventing it for this new age and just making it completely brutal. I haven't seen Petey write like this since Human Target, but this is Human Target turned up to 18 trying to outdo John Wick. I mean, like the metaphysical meets what's really going on the page, like just the way Aiko draws it. I mean, like the cityscapes, the way he scopes things out, the deaths. I mean, it's just so visceral. It's a beautiful book, but it's hideous at the same time because of what you're looking at and what these people are doing. I completely love it. I've been impressed-ish with AWA Upshot. This is definitely the best book they have out. This is better even than John Lee's Hotel, and that's me saying something if I'm putting this above a Lee's book. But Petey delivered, man. Like this is, if you like Milligan at all, and if you like Human Target or really good espionage hitman stories, like this is a book that is just gonna made to kick your ass and impress you, which it completely did. I thought I knew Pete's work like this, but like he was just like, you want to see another facet then, bruv? All right, here you go. And like, wow, he just opened my eyes again. And I love it when a writer that I followed for so long can still do that to me. Joey, what you think, man?
I was pleasantly surprised by this because I had read the first issue a long time ago, and I like a lot of series. I usually like wait till almost all of it's out, then I'll just binge read it all. And I had this one in my box sitting there, and then I read it because we're doing the show. So I read the issue 2 to 4 or 5. Is it 5 issues? 5?
Yeah. 5.
And man, like issue 2, I read. Okay, I liked the first one. I thought it was good. Read the second one, not bad, but that's where they start to introduce, like you said, Kid Nightmare, Incubus.
Yeah.
And then issue 3 kicks in. Like at the end of issue 2, you know that now the shit's gonna start. And what's so great about this is it's not just the action, but because, like you say, they're shooting up the DNA and getting, like, it's the psychological and the visions, and it adds so much visual impact to this book. Like the trippy like things they see and how it's played together, and how when he's looking at Kid Nightmare, he sees him but with a mask. Like he doesn't see his actual face. He has like a demon face when he's fighting him, and he's fighting a demon because he's fucking because he attacks him when he's anyway. It adds so much cool visuals to this book. Visually is just awesome, and he does such a great job with like close-ups. Then further away, like there's a lot of variety in the way he uses his panels and the framing of his panels. Like it gets the intensity. Like when he's there and he's trying to fight off because he's getting attacked and he's shot up, so he's going into the empathy phase. But he's trying to fight that off because he has to fight someone. And like the close-up sometimes of like the struggle, like you could see it in his face. It's so well done, and it lends itself like they're such a good team together. These two guys, like Milligan and Aiko. Is that his name? Aiko?
That's how I say it, Aiko.
Yeah, but I mean, they worked perfectly together on this book. And if anyone who's reading it, if you read the first two and you're like, I don't know, keep going because it just gets better and better and better with each issue. And by the end, you're like, fuck yeah, this was definitely worth the getting through. Like they set it up like it's done purposely because they got to set it up to get you to know the characters and where they're coming from and setting the scene properly so that later on, you understand really well what's going on, what's at stake, and they do a little backstory on all these guys and a lot of the characters. They do little flashbacks because they go into their minds, so they get to see the backstories, and the backstories are told through them injecting, like through the nightmares or through memories that he uses to manipulate people through their emotions. So you get little backstories like this, and it's the perfect way to introduce these little backstories are through these little like trippy visuals or flashbacks. It's really cool, really well done.
And you hear me say stuff like, dude, this is like old school Vertigo style. Like if you ever wondered what that meant, man, like read this book and you'll probably understand it. If Vertigo was like in its golden age right now, this is what their books would look like. This is what they'd read like, because this is a guy that was there, wrote some of the best ever. So to see him still punching this hard for a new company, like, oh man, I hope they keep him around. Like I hope that they have Milligan come back, even if he's not writing this character. I hope he does more for the studio because.
Well, it said end of volume 1, so I'm hoping they're planning on continuing this.
Yeah, it's left wide open, so yeah, that's always welcome. And like, what's his name, Christopher Chance in Human Target. Like, Petey took us on many trips with him, and each one was demented. So, like, yeah.
Well, AWA has come back with other titles to do other arcs, like Resistance is on their second arc. Year Zero, they came out with another arc. Yeah. So a lot of these books, they are coming out with and I think basically it's probably how well the first one sells, right? So, I mean, everybody get out there, buy the trades, buy the issues, buy the singles, man. If you like this book, you guys should get out there and buy it if you want to see more of this stuff. Yeah, because it's worth it.
At least buy this book and buy Hotel because
definitely Hotel.
I definitely want to read more of those two. Yeah, we should cover that.
Highway, wasn't Devil's Highway 2 is pretty good by Benjamin Percy.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good story too. That was a good one. Yeah. We'll have to do our Trucker Hour episode on that one day.
Yes.
Yeah, it really was good to see Peter Milligan, man, the god of underrated comics, going back and doing his thing like that again, though. I mean, just showing he still has it. Like, that's what I loved so much about Seeds, too, is like Anno Cinti. She was just like, oh, it's been a while, hasn't it? Well, I just wanted to let you guys know I haven't slipped at all.
Right.
And like that's kind of what I got from Petey with this, because I mean I read some of his Valiant stuff that he was doing a year or two ago, and I could tell he was having fun, but he wasn't being showy. With this, he was like, "Dog, Milligan's still in the house,
right?
Like, yeah, I can still throw down with the best of them." And yeah, color me impressed, because like I am utterly just blown away by it.
Cheers to
but
that. I
think Upshot's letting these creators like kind of just do their thing. Like pitch it to us and we'll let you run with it. And I don't think they put too many restraints on them, really. I think they just let them run with it and give us your best, And they've been putting out some solid stuff.
Yeah, man. As far as I'm concerned, AWA has been the best consistency-wise with putting out good books, man. There's a few of the newer titles that I haven't been able to get around to reading yet, but every single book that I've read, which is multiple titles, I have enjoyed immensely. I have nothing bad to say about AWA, and I hope they keep it up, man. They're fucking amazing.
Yeah, give John Lees more work, even if it's not Hotel.
Yeah. Everybody give fucking John Lees more work.
Even if it's not
people
Hotel.
Doing?
Yeah. The hell does that Scottish guy have so much time to watch wrestling for, man? Make him busy. He's got way too much time to watch the wrestling. Speaking of which, Joe, who won the game or the match, or what do you guys call it?
It's in overtime right now.
Oh, is it really?
So they could still lose.
Yeah, they can lose. Next goal wins, man. I don't know.
Are they doing penalty shootouts or what? What are
no,
they doing?
not in the playoffs.
Are they playing horse?
They don't do it. It's you go till someone scores, so it could go till 3 a.m.
Yeah, Joe's gonna hate me later on in this episode.
Yeah,
I jinxed his boys.
I'm gonna fucking cancel Matt.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking block him and mute him on Twitter, man. That's it. It's over.
You talk shit about the Bears, or what's the team called? Are they the Bears or
the Canadians? Yeah.
Where did I get Bears from? Okay.
I don't know, man. Did you ever live in Chicago? Maybe that's why. I have no clue. Or maybe the Bruins. They've got a bear on their jersey, so.
Are they? I don't know. Maybe the Cubs. They're Chicago too, right?
Yeah.
Indeed.
All right. So, I guess we're zipping along.
That sums up Johnny's knowledge of sports.
I don't sports, man. Like, you're lucky I even know that they were. You're lucky I even know you're watching baseball. All right.
Yeah.
I know you Canadians and your baseball love. So, all about the boys of summer. But yeah. Zipping right along. Then, any of you guys got any last words you want to say about American Ronin before we make fun of Goose for an hour?
Did you guys? Well, we don't really worry about spoilers on this show, do we?
No.
Did you guys know? Like, when did you figure out what his sexuality was?
When Homeboy knew his real name.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know they drop little hints, and I caught it a little later. So.
Plus, Petey's never been afraid to write stuff like that. Like I was saying, the first book that I read of his, Enigma, it was pretty eye-opening. It was the first thing I ever read that was like legit about like an LGBT character and their struggle and showing like what they go through. The whole book's almost like a metaphor for coming out. Where like the dude's mom legitimately becomes the monster that the superhero needs to protect him from. So so I kind of never, whenever Pete's writing, I always assume that something like that's going to show up in his work. He's been an ally since they've had him, you know.
Yeah.
Me, it was the nightmare sequence. Well, the dream that turns into a nightmare where they show the hand.
Yeah.
Then I was like, he did like. For sure, you're like, that's a man's hand. So I was like, dude swings bats on for the other team, man.
Yeah, my thing was I wasn't sure if he was going to be real or not.
Okay. From injecting so much stuff that he gets confused of what is his reality and his how you should say targets realities.
Yeah.
Because they do touch on that later on, like at the end.
Yeah.
When he really takes extra doses, then he's like turning into the Nightmare Kid. Like he's fighting to stay himself, or like there's that struggle, and that's really well done too. Like
I loved that like that inner struggle, like battle between him being himself and whoever he's injecting was so good.
And It makes me think of a little bit like the Bourne Identity, where is it Clive Owen who plays the other assassin and they're chasing each other?
Yeah.
You know, it kind of has that cat and mouse kind of game going. And there's the one scene where he's trying to get DNA in the room, and he knows the motherfucker's watching him from like another building, and he just turns
And gives
to the
him
window
the
and he
finger.
just gives him the finger. I love that. That made me laugh. I fucking love that. That was great.
Yeah, I was a big fan of that scene.
That was awesome. Yeah. Yeah, you're like, oh man, these guys are just, you know.
If you like that, dude, you really should go back and read his Human Target stuff, because that was a lot of the same stuff he would do with Christopher Chance, where like the guy would get so into playing these people that like they would have to like actually pull him out and like take him back to the army and stuff and be like, no, dude, like you trained here, remember, you're not this guy. Like, so I love when Pete writes those kind of characters, because I don't know, maybe he gets stuck in other people's minds himself. That might be interesting to find out about him.
Yeah.
Well, and like he says, he wants to get out of the game, but he has to take care of business before he can completely commit to his lover, right? At the end, like he says, I would love nothing more. And then you see him at the end, like, all right, who's the next motherfucker?
I think he enjoys it just as much as he wants to get out of it.
Yeah. So, there's definitely a lot of story left to be told if they come back with more, man.
I really hope
it was
they
really
do.
Really well fleshed out.
Well, with the way this thing was drawn and just the way it was laid out, like, tell me that this wouldn't just make a phenomenal film. Like, all you'd have to do is just follow what's on the pages and film that. And like, would you guys be down to see if somebody did make a film of this? Like, who would you want to see play the main character?
Just visually, man. Like,
I'm thinking Rami Malek as the main character. I think he would be really good. Maybe Oscar Isaacs.
Yeah, I thought of Oscar Isaac as well. Yeah, I thought of him. Who was the other guy you said?
Rami Malek. He was in All the Small Things. He played Freddie Mercury in the Queen movie.
He was in Robot.
Mr. Robot. Exactly. Yeah,
Mr. Robot. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he'd probably be pretty good too, because he's really weird. So, like, I like really. Maybe he could play Kid Nightmare. Oh
yeah, he would be like, after seeing Jared Leto play the Joker, man, that's it right there. Like, Jared Leto's Joker is fucking Kid Nightmare, more or less.
I still haven't seen that.
You never saw him as the Joker? Man, he was good. I don't care what people say. I love Suicide Squad. I thought he was a good Joker.
I can't knock it.
Just the way he acts, the style, like, with the slick back hair, the craziness, with the tattoos, it was almost just like him, basically. Yeah.
Oh, well, Matt left. I guess he got.
Yeah, he didn't like my casting. He didn't like my fucking casting for Kid Nightmare, man.
Well, Jared Leto in like that Mobius movie, at least the trailer I saw, he looks like the guy that worked at the library in my high school. Like, with that beard and everything. Yeah, the hair, like all smiley, be like, "Hey, you need help with the computers?" Like, wow, dude. Jared Leto grew up to be what was his name, Mr. Rocha? Yeah, Mr. Rocha. That's awesome. Well, this is interesting. Like, you want to talk about Death or Glory? You want to kind of intro that for us there, Joey?
We can. I mean, I wasn't going to, but I can do this, man.
It was Goose's job,
off the cusp.
but
go off the cusp, man. Off script here. We're going to improvise. Well, I improvise more than 3/4 of my shit, so it doesn't really matter.
That's fine. Yeah.
So, Death or Glory, man. Most people probably know about this book. It's the writer's Rick Remender. So he's done a lot of stuff. People probably know about him. The artist is Bengal, like a European comic superstar. The lettering is Russ Wooten. Editors and all that, we could skip that.
Who's the designer?
Designer, I was just about to say it. It's right here. Then it's very clear. I actually got the complete edition hardcover.
Nice.
The oversized. It just came out this Wednesday, so anyone who wants to go pick it up, it's out now in stores. It's beautiful. The oversized pages do it so much justice. Anyway, back to the designer, because we don't want to be told on Twitter that we don't give designers their just due. Is well, if they'd put easier names to pronounce, then we would probably say their names more often. It's Erica Schnatz. Anyway, and the logo designer is Vincent Kukia. There you go. Those are pretty much all the credits. And man, I'm telling you, you guys go pick this up. It's worth it. It's definitely worth it. It was strange because there's no foreword. Usually when they do these deluxe editions, they have a foreword from another writer, creator. This one didn't, but it has a lot of goodies in the end, a lot of scripts. I think at the end, they put the whole 20-page scripts with the panel layouts and everything at the end for one entire issue. So there's some extra goodies in there if you, want to pay the extra for this. And it's not bad. For me, it was $50 Canadian. Which is probably what, 39 for you guys in the US. So it's a reasonably priced book for what you get. Yeah. So basically, Death and Glory. Let's get into the crux of it, the story, the what this shit is about. Like Johnny said, this episode is all about action, and this one is not short on action. So basically, this story is about a girl named Glory, whose father is sick and needs, I can't remember if it's a liver transplant or something, or else he's going to die. So she agrees to do these heists for this gang, mafia, or whatever it is, some underground black market criminal that she has to deliver these packages. So she's doing these heists to be able to pay for surgery to save her father's life. And like any good action story, things go wrong. And then all shit breaks loose, and now she's on the run. People are chasing her. She's kicking ass.
There's Amish people, like, for some reason.
They're Dutch.
Okay,
yeah, there's all kinds of,
I guess, then, or whatever. Oh.
There's all kinds of colorful personalities in this book.
That's one
there's the twins, the Dutch twins that are whatever. There's a germophobe who likes to nitro freeze people. Yep. There's the crooked cop who loves to torture people with shoving things up their rectums. Yep. There's the ex-husband who's just a fucking douche and a weasel and a coward. There's the big honcho who's a former pimp who, let's just say, is missing probably the most important part of what a pimp would probably like to have, and that's one of his big things he wants from all these. Well, it's about, let's just say it's about human trafficking for organs. And this pimp dude, he wants one particular organ that's very important to all men. And that's the driving force for this guy to fucking kidnap people and take their organs so he can get an organ back.
Just say it, Joey. His name is Dickless Frankenstein, so I think that should fill in the gaps.
And that's just these characters are just off the wall, and it's kind of, I don't know, like, what would you say? Is it a dystopian version of America?
Yeah, it's like a 70s exploitation.
It's Grindhouse. Yeah, it's like if Robert Rodriguez and Rob Zombie did a bunch of acid and like decided to design a country. Like, Death or Glory is what we'd get. And yeah, I remember like when I was reading the first arc, and like Glory, she was convinced that her douchey husband was smuggling drugs, and then you find out that it's organ theft, and you're just like, well, damn, girl, you're giving that motherfucker way too much credit, dude. Damn. And it just gets crazier from there. I love Bingel's car action in this, man. Like, if you love like those old 70s car movies like Vanishing Point and like Crazy Larry, Dirty Mary and stuff, like, oh my god, like, he delivers so good with the car action in this book.
Montreal scored. There's going to be a game 7, y'all.
So you won't hate me this week.
Yeah.
So the Bears won?
The Bears fucking won, man. They wiped their asses with those leaves.
Go Bears! Remenders.
God damn.
Yeah. All right,
So
I'm
that's
done
it.
derailing.
They just needed to score the 1 point to win.
Yeah, now it's going to a final game 7 to decide who goes on to the next round.
Did they play that later or tonight?
I'm not sure if it's tomorrow or Monday.
Okay, well, I'd make them play it now. Get up there and win. But
Yeah.
Maddie, what you got? Any things you really want to spit about the book?
Man, I've got a lot of shit to spit about this book, man. The way I would describe this book to someone who hasn't read it yet, it's basically a story about like holding on to your past and learning to let it go. Except it's written by Garth Ennis, and
It's actually Rick Remender doing his Beth Garth Ennis impersonation. He's like,
right.
but he's even writing it with an Irish brogue. He's like, I am Garth Ennis right now, and it's like, okay, Rick, we believe you.
But
look at that
man,
right there, yeah, baby, splat.
Of course, like I'm already like a huge Remender fan, but if I had never read anything by him, the very opening of this book would have had me sold, because it starts out with a conversation about eating ass, first off.
Who doesn't like to eat ass, man?
Right. And then this stranger walks into this burger joint where these guys are having a discussion about eating ass, and orders 133 cheeseburgers for no reason. And because they throw a fit and are like, we're closing in 5 minutes, fuck your cheeseburgers, he fucking liquid nitrogens a dude's face off. So from the opening of the book, I am completely sold. And there are just so many moments of just off the wall hilarity in this book. Like, let's see, Korean Joe and the Dutch twins are like hilarious to me, who are the main like organ farmers, I guess you could say. The main dude that's in charge is Dickless Frankenstein, who's like this 70s pimp wannabe guy who's has no dick. So he's like trying to find the perfect cock for himself, which, doesn't really pan out too well for him in the end. One of the sheriff of the town likes to torture people by shoving hot peppers up their assholes.
Yeah, that's where we got the name of this episode. Yeah. Chili peppers don't go there.
My favorite part of this book is towards the end when they come to the final confrontation with the germaphobe guy.
Want to eat some ass? There you go.
They open up the back of the septic tank on him and fucking Red drowns him and shit. That was like the perfect way out. Yeah, man. If there was a fucking action movie that I would like to see a movie adaptation of, it's this.
Good call.
Joey. Even over the other two books. Yeah.
Who would you get who would you cast to play Glory, Joe? I would go with Mary Elizabeth Winstead. I think she would be pretty good for Glory. You're pretty good with fan casting.
I originally like, you'd already did an episode on this way back when, and on Twitter I said Mackenzie Davis. After watching her in the last Terminator movie, I was like, dude, man, she has some action chops, I figured, but
she's a tall blonde girl?
Yeah, but in that movie she has dark hair. Yeah, okay. Normally she's the one that's from Halt and Catch Fire.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, she's pretty good. Like, I thought she would probably be able to pull it off, She has a decent look, and I think if you gave her dark hair, but I don't know, is she supposed to be like half Asian or? Glory, is she half Asian? They don't really go into it. Like you
Yeah.
see her mom. Her mom looks Asian, and the father's I don't know if he's Scottish or Irish or so. Anyway, but that's who I thought of. But then as I was reading it, I was like, I don't know, man. Like, started thinking of other actresses that might be able to play it, but that's the one who popped into my head the most because I just loved her in *Halt and Catch Fire*, and I thought she would probably do a good job.
What about you, Matt? You got any fan picks to play Glory?
No, I'm going with your pick, man, for sure.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead, yeah, she's got that attitude, man. I wouldn't mess with her. Like
she's got a new flick coming out where basically looks like she's playing that role anyway.
Oh yeah, what's that?
Beating dudes' asses. Cool.
Yeah.
Which movie is that?
I can't remember what it's called, but I know I watched the trailer the other day, and yeah, it basically looks like her and the role of Glory.
There you go.
But it's her being a fucking badass and like just murking motherfuckers. So I'm gonna watch it for sure.
One of the best things I gotta say about Death and Glory though is it's Rick's probably his funniest book. Like I mostly know him for depressing the hell out of me in ways that I love. Like when I get done with the book of Low, like I turn off the lights in my room, like I put on some black metal music, and I like do some serious Batman brooding. I breathe in and out really deep, like all I mean, like Low affects me in a way that I love, but I mean like it hits me in them feels. So when I get to a Remender book where I'm like laughing, I'm like, wow, I forgot that he could do this, which is really kind of fun because he actually used to be pretty funny back before he got super serious after Fear Agent.
Yeah, man, this is definitely by far his most hilarious book.
Yeah, it's off the wall for sure. Like, I mean, it's got all kinds of wackiness to it. I mean, it's ridiculous at times. I mean, it's got a little bit of everything, you know. And I originally had read the first 5 issues like about a year ago, and I just read like when I went and picked up. I was waiting to get this to read the final 6 issues, and man, the second half to this is just non-stop action. It's like bam, bam, bam. It's
ooh, we got Mel gonna be reading some Remender. Good on you.
Yeah,
you'll love it.
It's
no
non-stop action. Like if you're
off
thinking
the wall
like
action.
Oh, it is. It's like, and I think that's one of the hardest things in comics. Like action, like gunplay and stuff, you can pull it off, but to pull off good vehicle chases, like car chase scenes and stuff like that, that's hard to do in comics and really make it pop and come off the page. But man, Bangle does it so well in this.
Yeah, man.
Like it's great. Like oh, it's so good. Like you brought up the car going through the drive-in screen from Hotline. Yeah. Well, that's like it's like that
every
non-stop
page.
for like 6 issues. You know, they do such a great job with the vehicle action sequences. It's amazing to be able to pull that off in a comic where it's sequential, just like freeze frames and be able to pull that off. Incredible. It's I can't say enough good things about it. I don't know very many people that could pull that off, and they pull it off like gangbusters, man. It was great.
Yeah, man. It's almost like watching Fury Road, but like a flip book.
Yeah, there's definitely some Mad Max in there, no doubt.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I know we've been talking about how funny the book is, and it really is. There's so many moments in this book that had me like laughing on my couch. But how sad was Cindy and Winston, man? I teared up, like legit, man. I fucking teared up.
Yeah. Oh, they plotted that, paced it, and built it up perfectly. And you know, you saw it coming. You knew it was gonna, but it is just perfect. Like,
yeah. He had to throw some Remender in there, you know.
Well, they gotta have the emotional punches to keep it level to make it a good book. If it was all just funny, then it would be a silly book. So, like, yeah, Rick had to throw his typical Remender gut punches in there, but like when I don't know, they felt a little more earned in this than like, you know, say Like if you're reading Deadly Class, where it's like, oh, all this terrible shit's gonna happen to these guys in one issue, and you're like, thank you, Rick.
All right.
Like,
And
now I know
And I
why
don't
you
wanna-
like. Now I know why you like Morrissey so much.
and I don't want to make you guys roll your eyes and shit, but there's a strong fraternity element, kind of like Fast and Furious, where all these people, like, they drive trucks and, you know, and they have that strong sense of family where they have each other's backs. And that is rooted deep in this, where
Yeah.
these people are going to, like, sacrifice themselves till, like, there's nothing they wouldn't do for each other. And that shines through on this book, too. Like just at the end when the shit sucker truck guy shows up and he's like, yeah, I fucking, you know, like, he's like, yeah, I got your back. And then he shows up and he has his moment of glory, you know, and like it's got tons of little heartfelt moments like that where, you know, and like she throws a little joke in there. Oh, I've never been so happy to see your shit truck, you know. Like, like there's a bunch of little fun moments like that are just heartfelt and throughout this book.
Yeah. Who is everybody? There's so many characters in this book that are like hilarious and enjoyable. Like even the villains. Who was everybody's favorite character from this book? Mine was definitely the germaphobe hitman guy with the liquid nitrogen. That dude was funny as shit.
Same, exactly. Yeah, he was just. Yeah, the way his quirks were written, like Rick really nailed it, man. Like they were really spot on and funny. Plus, like when he would kill, like it was, I don't know, there's just something petty and shitty about it that made it even funnier. You know what I mean? So, like, I get a kick out of those petty, shitty people like that. They crack me up.
That fucking full body condom that he puts on.
See, I was gonna show that picture, but I didn't want to give it away because that's a pretty funny part. You know?
Oh, too late. You gotta show it now.
Yeah, I'll find it. But
who's your favorite, Joe?
Mel's gonna be disappointed. Oh man, it's hard to pick because they give each character their shining moments, right?
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I don't know. It's hard. Like I think they developed the ex-husband so well. Like,
yeah, they
plotted him out.
A piece of shit real quick.
Yeah, but he has his redeeming qualities as well. Like he's so like that, and at the end, like I don't know. I think he did a great job with him. I don't know if I'd say he's my favorite, but I think he's the character that was maybe fleshed out the best, and he helped drive a lot. Like he's the main driving force of this whole story. Without him,
oh yeah,
this book doesn't exist. So I'd have to go with the ex-husband.
I can see that, man.
Yeah.
I also got to throw in, man, I love Glory as like a main lead. Like a lot of times, like they're written a little too snotty or bratty sometimes in books, but I think Rick towed the line really well with her. Even when she was being an asshole, like you understood where she was coming from. You know what I mean? And I just.
But I mean, it's too easy to pick the main character, right?
Yeah, you'd be. I'd laugh at you if you did, but I was just going to throw out there that she really was a really well-written, really strong main lead for a book.
But strong, but, you know,
very
not
vulnerable.
Cold. Yeah, exactly. Not cold. Like very, like the whole time she's struggling with, like selfish too. Like, like she's not letting her dad go because for selfish reasons, not just, you know, like.
Right. Like
she was a well fleshed out character too. It wasn't just like one dimensional character that's either badass or is a complete wreck and a mess. And you know, she's a well fleshed out character as well with a lot of inner conflict. And you know, it like I mean the whole book, all the characters. Like,
I know, man. Even
whether
the
how minor they are, they're
Yep.
still really well fleshed out, and they have their moments. And that's what's so great about this book is. Every character at least gets one or two panels or a page to shine.
Yep.
And then that's when Rick's at his best too. Like he's usually is, but I mean, like this is definitely one of his high water marks in my opinion. Like this is up there with Deadly Class and In League with like his best of stuff.
And to be able to do this on a 11 issue run with this many characters and to give them that much depth, then that is a feat, because it's not just like 3 or 4 characters. You're dealing with 12, at least 12 different characters that
in the main cast, and then you got side that just show up, and you need to know who they are, but they're somewhat reoccurring, but not main. And there's a lot of cast to this. Like a
really
whole show's cast, at least, a whole TV show.
Yeah, I laughed so hard at. I actually wrote the actual lines down when he, the germaphobe guy's pulling up behind him, and they're in the septic tank truck, and the little girl that they're saving is like, or the guy that's driving the septic truck is like, "What's going on back there?" And the little girl's like, "Potty," and fucking they just dump all the shit on him. I could if that was a movie. That was the scene that I'm rewinding like 30 fucking times and cracking the fuck up over.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Little. That's what I mean. There's a bunch of just little, like either single panels or a couple panels where you're like, it's just gold. It's comic gold. Yeah. It was pretty damn good. Like I said, I read the first 5 issues and I thought it was good. Like it had its moments, but then when I got the hardcover, I read those other 6, and I was like, "Holy fuck! It's relentless. Like it just goes and goes, and it doesn't let up. It's like I did the sizzle reel before I even read those 6, and I was like, like high octane, pedal to the metal, and I hadn't read it yet, so I was like talking out of my ass, right? So, but I mean, it was really that. Like,
it holds up.
Yeah, it holds up.
After you read it, you're like, I undersold it. I should have yelled louder at that part.
Yeah. Next episode, you can only talk in your Hulk Hogan voice.
Yeah, in your
fuck that.
In the Macho Man voice.
Man, my throat was actually sore the next day a little bit. Because a lot of those things weren't done on first takes, so.
So good though.
Unlike doing your smooth voice, where it's like, "Hey, lady."
That's right.
Yeah.
I can talk in that voice for a whole episode.
Fuck, I'm sure you could. Like just today when I redid the intro, I had to add the voice in.
Yeah.
I was like, I better not take like 6 or 7 tries to get it, and it took about 6 or 7. And even right now, my throat's a little raw, so I was gonna throw it in, and maybe I was gonna do my my check-in, but I was like, nah, I can't do it. Maybe next time.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I was maybe gonna give it a little bit, but no, I can't. I can't do too much. I won't be able to talk for a week.
Well, what about a Gilbert Godfrey impersonation? Can we get one of those maybe this week?
No, we tried that in that fucking 5 days episode, and it was awful.
You're the one who did it the best, John.
Yeah, I could do it, but I'm gonna have to yell at you guys, and it's uncomfortable to do. Plus, I hate the way that man sounds, so I hate that I can sound like him. That's terrifying to me. That like, I don't even have to try hard, and I can do Godfrey, and I'm just like, I don't know if that's something to be proud of or something to walk off a building over, but like, that's.
I'm going with option B.
Walk off the building.
Well, thank you, Matthew. Well, thank you. But the Bears won tonight.
Yeah.
Like, they did. I am fucking happy, man. Fuck Toronto. Fuck Toronto.
Yeah,
man,
fuck Scott Pilgrim too.
They haven't won a first round series in like 13 years, man. Fuck them.
Yeah, Mel, it's on the channel. Like it'll be the video before this one, the promo where Joe's just hollering his voice out. Saturday. Like he goes for the gusto, man, and it's beautiful.
It's like the best Hulk Hogan car salesman impersonation I've ever heard.
You guys got any last thoughts on Death or Glory?
Read that shit.
Yeah. What fucking Joe said. You will not be disappointed, and if you are, just don't come back.
It has the name Remender on it. If you haven't at least looked at it yet, there's something might be a little bit wrong with you, or you're new to comic books, and that's okay. Like Remender, that means read it. That's what Remender means.
Deluxe hardcover is out now. Pick it up now. Death or Glory.
Do it now. Come on.
I
Get
can't
to
do
the
it.
chopper!
I can't do
Read
it.
the book! Did you do Arnold Schwarzenegger? Get to the
Oh,
chopper!
no.
Read the book!
I can only do my own voices that I make up. I can't impersonate other people's voices. I do my own original characters.
Is there anything popping up in the near future that you guys are really excited for, comic book wise? Like anything we should be letting the fans know they should be looking out for?
The only thing that pops into my head is fucking Turbo Kid. Happy Tank is going to be re-releasing the Turbo Kid issues, and man, if you have not seen that movie, we'll be doing an episode all about it once the book's about to drop. So,
yeah, spoilers on that. The art in it is perfection. Like
Yeah.
I don't. If you think of like what should a Turbo Kid comic book look like, and imagine what the art. That's actually what it looks like, and it's all black, white, and red. It's fucking glorious. Good call.
Yeah, and I got to give a shout out to Mel because her amazing website Horror Geek Life is where I found out they were re-releasing those books. So thank you for that, Mel. Yeah, man. But that's like one of my top movies of all time. If you haven't watched Turbo Kid, fucking watch it.
Yeah, don't
She's
let
be doing an interview soon, so you guys might want to look out for that on her channel.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I know I will be.
Oh shit. Yeah, those are some Montreal dudes, man. Turbo Kid.
Right?
That's,
Show the
Quebec.
Canadian love.
That's a Quebec production, not just Canadian, Quebec. And a French Quebecer making an English movie. That's something. And it's
Michael
a very
Ironside
damn good
in it,
movie.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very damn good movie too. Don't let it fool you. Don't let the title Turbo Kid or the stills of little kids in it riding BMXs fool you, because
this is movies like Hobo with the Shotgun, gory, bloody, messed up.
yeah, it's got
That's
some.
the closest I could compare it to. It's like Hobo with the Shotgun, but with little kids in it. Like,
Oh
pretty
yeah,
much.
it's a serious movie. It isn't something.
Oh, well,
it
not
isn't like,
serious, but it's definitely
no, but I mean the content. Like it's not Lava Kid and Shark Girl or Shark Boy and Lava Girl or whatever. It's not some.
I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about anymore.
Some bullshit rinky dink like stuff that you show to your 10-year-old. You know, it's nothing like that.
I don't know. I'd probably show Turbo Kid to my 10-year-old if I had one. So
yeah. Well, I remember one time I was like hanging out with my brother, and we were watching his little brother, and he's like, "Well, put something on for him." So I went over to the DVD player and I put in Ninja Scroll, and my brother's like, "Hey, what the fuck are you doing?" And I'm like, "What?
dropping
dude,
the
it's Ninja
classic
Scroll."
knowledge.
And he's like, "Yeah, dude, it's Ninja Scroll." My brother's 8 years old, and I'm like, "So?" And then like I remembered the rock guy part, and I'm just like,
yeah, the rape eating out part.
Dude,
with
I was like 10 when I watched it the first time. You know what I mean? So like I wasn't so, but like there are fragile titness to children. But,
Anime isn't the best thing to introduce kids to, for the most part. Like 90% of it is.
Are you saying
rape,
that's what's wrong with me, Joe?
90% of it is rape porn, you know? So
only if you watch the old 80s stuff. Only if you watch the old 80s stuff. Like everything made from the 90s on, there's very little grapes in it.
I watched a lot of 90s stuff, and there's a lot of rapey.
Yeah, I gotta go with Joe on that one.
Devils with 3 dicks, fucking raping women while they're falling from a fucking 80-story building, and with a camera view from the inside of the uterus with the multiple dicks penetrating coming in.
Okay, you watched Legend of the Overfiend, man. That's a terrible film to ever recommend to anybody. Like, but you got any comics coming out in the near future?
Unless you're 10.
Like,
then highly recommended.
Yeah, highly recommend. Yeah, Legend of the Overfiend.
I would not show that
Joe's
to any
obviously
10-year-old.
seen it.
That'll warp anyone's mind.
But yeah, comics in the near future that are coming out that aren't Legend of the Overfiend. Joe, you need to recommend to people.
I didn't take notes. There was one that I saw, and I can't remember what it is now. I'm just thinking about multiple cocks penetrating pussies.
I think everyone is at this point.
They won't even remember what I tell them anyway.
Right.
No,
Yeah,
but
well, not after that lead up. I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
This episode needs to be renamed now.
yeah.
yeah. Well, you can switch it up in post. There's
Yep.
actually one that looked pretty damn cool. Was the Black Hammer, the new Black Hammer series that's coming out, called what is it? Unreal Teenagers
Oh, the
or
X-Men
something.
one that he's doing. Yeah, the X-Men one.
Yeah,
That,
set in the Black Hammer universe from Lemire and who is the artist? I think it's Tyler Crook who's going to be drawing it, and that looked pretty fucking cool. Yeah, the Unteens, that's what it is.
Yep.
That one looks pretty cool because it's going to be like a horror, kind of have a horror vibe to it. So I mean, Lemire does he definitely does horror vibes pretty damn good. So let's that should be fucking good because if you've read Animal Man or Gideon Falls or even Family Tree has definitely some horror vibes to it. He definitely has a good handle on the genre. So I'm looking forward to that. And I think the first issue is coming out in August. So keep an eye out. It's in the new preview solicit for August. So if you want to get your pre-orders in, you can do it now.
if you're like me and you wanted to see what it would have been like if Jeff Lemire could write X-Men without Marvel editors screwing him over, we might actually get that from Dark Horse in the near future. So that's what I'm looking forward to. That's what I thought the second you posted that. I think it was earlier this week, Joe. I was just like, right on.
A couple weeks ago, I think. Yeah.
I'd be like, actually going to see what it would have been like if Lemire actually was able to write a good X-Men book before Marvel's. We're like, nope, you can't do it. We're not going to let you.
What do you got that you're looking forward to, Jonathan?
Well, man, I just follow my Kickstarters right now, and it's finishing up soon, and it's doing pretty well. But I want everybody to be reading this book because it's so good. It is called Cult Heroes. It is by one man named Ray Estrada. He writes and draws this. His art is just incredible. It looks like the stuff that I come up with, but even better. And it's amazing. It's like History of Violence meets Invincible, and it's this dude and this chick, and they go around massacring heroes to see if they're truly heroic or not. And I've seen this story done before, but it's not as brutal and as rustic as this is done. It really is on like that History of Violence tip, and I absolutely adore it. I think it's probably one of the neater, like hero-ish, darker hero things that I've read in a while.
Yeah, I agree with Nalo, man. Dark Horse is fucking killing it right now. Like
that's just good.
Yeah, they're fucking Jenny Zero, Orphan and the Five Beasts. You got the fucking Black Hammer universe. I guess they're
Grendel back. They're doing Mask again. Like they're doing actual Dark Horse books and not just relying on fucking Fox properties anymore. So yeah,
and they're putting out some solid good books. I remember what the other book was that I was looking forward to. It's coming out next week. It is by Vault Barbaric with the barbarian with a talking axe, and I'm hoping this will be what I was hoping to get from Sam and his talking gun.
You just want a weapon that makes jokes, Joe.
So is this on par with something like Headlopper? Is it like kind of cartoony like Andrew McLean stuff?
No, it's got a very serious style. It's going to be bloody. It's going to be gory. It
basically looks like Conan with if he had an axe that probably cracks jokes
with a demon face on it that looks fucking metal as fuck. It has
like
promise.
Real metal as fuck, or like Donny Cates metal as fuck.
No, it looks pretty like Iron Maiden cover.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Yeah, and he's always, and I think if I remember correctly in the story, the axe can die if he doesn't eat blood or drink blood. He has to, so you have to kill to keep the axe alive. Anyway, it sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah, Joe hated it too, Nalo.
What's that? Sam and his talking
gun?
Fuck yeah. I still have to go read Ballistic, though. You recommended that?
There's only one comic book about a talking gun that I could recommend, and that is Ballistic by Adam Egypt Mortimer and Derek Robertson from Black Mask Comics, because that thing is just hilarious, man. Especially if you like this Remender type stuff. It's on that same type of trip, but I don't know. It's like sci-fi and fantasy mixed together, where like there'll be like robots and stuff, but the cars will have like dragon wings. It's just weird to be weird, but in a good way.
Yeah,
very
plus
heavy metal magazine-esque.
Yeah, plus you get to look at fucking Derek Robertson's amazing art.
Yeah, it's some of his better stuff too. It's not quite as good as the book we can't talk about from the past, but better than The Boys. Like it's like mid-range, really good Derek Robertson art. It's up there with Happy. List. If you like Happy's art, it's like as good as that, just not as gross.
Yeah. But I put it on my list. I haven't read it yet, but it's definitely on my list. After you recommended it to me, I went and found it right away and added it to my list. So
if
it ever goes on sale on Comixology, I'm definitely going to be hitting that up, and I'll be adding it to my digital queue for sure.
You'll dig it, Joey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's only like 4 issues. It's not very long. So.
Yeah.
It's the first Black Mask book I ever read. Like that, and that was right before I got into God Killer. But yeah, like good stuff. Everybody in the chat, if you haven't read Black Mask yet, check it out, man. Get all the Pizzolo stuff. Get Cal Exit. Get Young Terrorist. Get God Killer. Get even you guys probably know Black Mask best because of Rosie stuff at Rosenberg. He did
We Can Never Go Home.
And 4 Kids, which are great books, but there is so much more to Black Mask too to check out. Like you know some more that I could throw out. You could throw out there, man. Like There's No One There, Grave Dancers. What do you got, Matt? To throw on top.
Steve Niles does a great book called The Disciples.
Punk's Not Dead, I think, was Black Mask.
Yeah.
Right.
What was it?
All right. That's Punk's Not Dead.
No, that's Black Crown.
That was Black Crown.
That was IDW's Black Crown.
Okay, yeah. Wrong Black.
Yeah.
Wrong Black. Okay. My bad.
They did the first time I ever read a Zach Thompson and Lonnie Nadler comic was The Dregs.
The Dregs.
Black Mask. And that's probably one of the most just hardcore noir things I've ever read. Like if you like hard noir and you ain't read The Dregs, that book will kick your soul right in its butthole, man.
Yep. Don't forget if you've got some love for cannibalism.
Nalo mentioned Snow Angels. I actually read that this week. I forgot to put it on my check-in. Yeah, that's anyone with the subscription to Comixology can read that for free. Or if you're Canadian and can't get comics, well, if you're not American, because Americans are the ones who can get Comixology, you can have it on Kindle Unlimited. All the Comixology originals are also available on Kindle Unlimited, so you can pick it up there as well.
Both great books, sequential.
Yeah, I did indeed bring up those masterpieces. Yeah, all of Pizzolo's stuff is great.
Yep.
He's really funny to talk to too. Or if you ever hear him speak, he's a character. He's up there with those other guys that get a bad rep for having their own creative processes.
Come on, Nalo. You know if it's fucking digital, I'm not gonna fucking read it.
You're our digital comic expert. Like, who's gonna read it if you don't? You're who we rely on for that stuff.
Yeah, right.
PDF Fulci in the house. Fucking
PDF Fulci, the Digi boy.
Oh, fuck.
Well, if you were in the Wu-Tang Clan, you'd totally be Bobby Digital, Matt. You totally would be.
I'll take a bootleg copy. That'd be fucking awesome.
Actually, Dark Horse is releasing Snow Angels.
Are they?
I think I read something. Though I might be misquoting, but I think I read that somewhere that Dark Horse will be releasing the printed version of Snow Angels.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if them or Image put it out. That sounds about right. They do that with web books all the time.
I'll pick it up then, Nalo, and then we
Nalo
can
might know.
Dirk
He might be able to confirm that. I don't know, but yeah.
Question marks. But yeah, dude, Space Riders by Alexis Zert, good call.
Yeah.
Just such really good, really fun grindhousey type stuff. That art, just like I was talking about with the Turbo Kid stuff. It's perfection, man.
Yeah.
Like it looks like how comic books should, you know.
Night Hunters is definitely not Black Mask. Nalo, who's Night Hunters by? I know you know that answer.
Nalito, por favor.
I haven't read that yet. Night Hunters.
Oh, the covers are great, man. They look like shirts I used to wear back in like 1988.
Floating World Comics, based in Portland.
Floating World. Okay,
There
cool.
it
Yeah, they're the guys that put out like Ben Mara and like what's his name? The slasher guy. Foreman stuff, right? Floating World?
Yep.
I think they put out that stuff.
Oh, we need to do an episode on Slasher for sure.
Oh God. Yeah, we go scare people if we talk about slasher though, but yeah,
I'm
I'm
all
down.
about scaring people.
We talk about
whether
you
it's
didn't
in
see
short
his-
shorts or not.
You didn't see
Slasher.
his fucking video? He's all about freaking everyone out.
He's all about saving a girl 5 seconds from a mass killer. I saw that. That's romance right there.
Maybe even 10.
Maybe even 10.
That's what he calls love, girl.
That's right, girl.
But all right, I would like to thank everybody that took this journey with us. We're gonna end it a little late. We had a couple of people fall off due to net reasons
Mel
and
knows.
stuff. So but I really appreciate everybody for taking the journey with us, and I think we had a good time talking these books. So thank you, Matt. Thank you, Mel. Thank you, Nalo. Thank you, Sequential, and everybody else who's been great in the chat all night. This is Pink Buzz, still part of Graphic Vandalism, so don't stop reading. And we'll catch you next week. I don't know whenever Matt has a fucking open in his schedule. So yeah.
Yeah,
Be
fuck
hauling at
me.
you later. It's all Matt's fault. He's wearing a Ramones shirt. It's 2021. Come on, man.
What's wrong with the Ramones, man? Fuck.
Nothing. It's just they're old, like my dad.
I'm
Like
fucking
us.
getting old, man. You know? So fuck.
Yeah, but you got pink hair. You're like blowing it off. You're doing good. We should create a zine.
Shit, I know. I could do that right now. I've got glue and staples. That's how I did it back in my punk rock days.
You got any glitter? We put some glitter on it, then we'd definitely be making some money. But
I'm bedazzling those fucking covers.
some rhinestones up on there. Now we're talking. That's sexy.
That's right.
Oh,
I can go
I should have
go
bedazzled
digging.
those shorts I wore in that fucking video.
right on the front, man. Just bedazzle the crotch area, man. Let
Okay.
that shine.
And with that, we will catch you guys later. Have a good week, everybody.
Take it easy,
Later.
people. Have a great week.